Are we live? Am I making noise? Oh, things
Hi.
are just tight on my poor old muter. Hi, we have Isabella. We have things in the way. We got all kinds of things going on. Yeah, but been working on Minecraft servers for the last couple of hours, and I am having such a ball. Oh my god, I love it. I'm actually fun. Hey Yorkie, if you are lurking around, God bless you, sir. I'm having such a good time. I'm Chris Nolan. I can pop in and read a phone book. As long as you do it in first person and third person, go right ahead. There we go. There we go. So, Evercamen, Blood, you guys have Neuralosa, Reg, no, we read something from you, Demonac, or if you guys have been writing away for the last couple of hours, come on into the raid call, relish every word, and the lovely Bella who has deserted me again. This is terrible.
Aw.
I was Lizzie. That was the plan from now on to be writing, but because we've got the district and a lot of folks are wanting some changes and stuff done, I'm working on that today instead. So, but I have to admit, loving it. You get messing around with mods. I've learned some things today. I'm going to be downloading some software tonight, and with any luck at all, in a year or 10, I will have the Kiss for Luck mod pack. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm having a ball, and I hate to say this, but the district may end up just having, let's try this mod and let's do that one. And some of you guys who are loving that may actually enjoy this a lot because I'm having a whole lot of fun putting these little suckers in. I'm telling you, I'm actually enjoying the process a lot. And right now, it's not on the server yet. The server's still there. You can still play tonight, probably through the night. I'm not really sure. I'm just setting it up on a single server and testing things as we go, and new biomes and the things I'm seeing and some other things we've put in, and it's like, okay, I'm having a lot of fun. So great afternoon for me. Okay, so back to writing. Relish every word. We were talking about third person or first person versus third person, their strengths, their weaknesses, and they both have a place, and sometimes you just feel better working in one and the other. And I'm going to see if we have things that need to be read first. So Demonac, you're at the top of the list. I didn't know if you were in here to share share writing or just share comments with us. Do you have something that you wanted to read? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's he's got last week's homework. So you know what? We'll go on to this week's, and then we'll come back to you. Tisk tisk tisk. Okay, so Neener, I know you've been working hard, right? You've got something for us.
Yes.
Awesome. Read away, darling.
Wait, let me copy and paste.
Okay, that works too. And I like being able to see it, so that's good. But I'm sorry for not working. No, you go ahead. I was kind of reading and making noise to myself. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. Doesn't matter if we do first or third person first.
No, I will figure out which one it is. We're clever.
Okay, I titled each one anyway. But
Okay.
That's all right.
Okay.
All right. Okay, here it goes. So what say you about this business with the gods? The man looked like a fixture fit for the tavern, aged and ill-maintained. His voice wavered yet was controlled, clearly only half drunk. What do you mean? The second man was dressed in garb unfit for his current surroundings. Despite that, he sipped his drink lightly, infrequently, casually. He wasn't uncomfortable being in this place, however, he wasn't fond of it either. Still, he would have to suffer it and its company for now. I mean, do you eat up the streams of shit that fall from the sacred tongues? We serve to live and live to serve. Utter cockmess. These shits think they can crack whips on my kin to build pretty buildings and sew pretty clothes for them and then command our lives? How in the fucking nexus did this first happen? And they do nothing. They submit, natural as they piss. Keep your voice down. The whisper came low but sudden and sharp. He had leaned forward and looked him dead in the eye. The half-drunk deeply exhaled mental fumes and inhaled a seemingly equal amount of his swill. Must we do this again? Balls. I thought you were on my side, Zarin. You know why I'm here, Perel. I would appreciate some respect for my time. I have little of it as it is. I have no one else to talk to. A wet sheen started developing over his eyes. We talk business, nothing else. I am not heartless, but I am at risk. Mark my circumstances well. Now, can we proceed? The little more than half-drunk emptied his tankard on the table. With a fingertip, with a fingertip, he dipped it in the swill and drew an arrow. It pointed towards the barmaid.
Oh, I like it. So are you doing the same piece now in in first person?
Yes,
Okay.
and the first person, as you can see, it's shorter, but that's because,
Well, things change.
like, it's more of an internal monologue that's going on while the first scene was going on.
And that's often what happens when we're doing first person, and that, yeah. So go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't like the look of this robed one. Drunk ones, strong ones, horny ones, all be a mess, but at least I can handle them. Robed ones, I can never tell what sort of unseen mess they bring, or will soon bring. He's sitting next to Perel. Odd, I didn't think he consorted with people like that. Shit! Let me get back to this mess before Master sees... Oh, whoops, I kind of messed up that part there. Let me get back to the mess before Master sees me gawking. I should have taken that almost out of there. This cannot be right. Perel said I'd be meeting with someone tonight after Tankard fall. Someone we could trust. The fool, I do hope he's right. Never met a robed one I could trust. That was from the perspective of the barmaid.
Oh my goodness, clever. So that's a whole different thing. And these are good examples of the different feeling that you're getting, the different things you can actually do with first person, third person. I like Tankard Fall. Yeah, there's.
Tankard Fall is maybe you had guessed it, but it's basically like last call at the bar.
It just made me happy. Just a great term. I liked it. You guys are writing these things, and these little lines stand out. It's like, oh, look at that one. That's cool. So that's good. So which do you prefer writing? Do you have a preference?
You mean between the two perspectives?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, third person, definitely. First person is a challenge, I gotta say.
It is. It's different. And Lizzie was saying, oh, it's so much easier. So, I mean, it's our own heads that are, creating the...
Mm-hmm.
Our own heads are creating the limitations. I'm sorry.
Yeah, with the first person, what I found was that it's easier in the sense of just thinking of natural dialogue as it comes naturally in my head, and yeah, that part of it was easy.
Yeah.
But having to structure it around this scene that's going on at the same time, yeah, that was a bit challenging. But I'm pretty happy with the first start here.
Yeah, these are nice pieces. There's a lot there. We're getting characters, and having it from the barmaid's point of view, she's looking out, and then we know from the other one that he's pointed something toward the barmaid. Now I read a book lately, and I know back in the olden days, when I was first I took a creative writing course a great many years ago. It was a very long time ago, and they were saying then you don't mix first and third person. You just don't do it that way. But I actually got a book kicking around here somewhere that I'm reading at the moment, and they do that. They have they start, I can't remember which way it started, but you'll be going through third person for a very long time. You're getting different points of view, and then you get a chapter and it's all first person, and it's just the one guy, what's in his head, what he's seeing, what he's going on, and then it pops back to the other way, and you have this big, the wider viewpoints and different things going on, and it works. The first sentence, the first time I got to the first chapter that went into first person, and he starts saying I whatever, and you figure it's the other guy, one of the main character, because you've been seeing it, he said and she did and that sort of thing, and you figured just in his head for a minute, because you still write those things. I'm thinking this way. I'm saying this. I'm doing whatever. You do that in third person as well at times. And then I realized it had moved to first person, and I'll admit it was a jar. It sort of stopped me. Um, and then I kind of went, okay, didn't expect that. A little bit of surprise, and I just started reading again. It worked really well. It worked really well. You did have that moment of wow, what the hell just happened sort of thing. But it worked, and I loved it. And I thought, okay, that it's nice to know the rules, and then you can, just ignore them. Sometimes, if you can pull it off, it works. Demon X saying that third person is easier because he wants to control everything and have access to all the information. And
Yes.
and that's the big hard part with first person. That's the bad one. Yeah. That one can be an ouchy point. Now, I was saying earlier, Nina, you weren't here. I had written some fantasy stuff based on World of Warcraft characters, and I was about 50 pages into it, and I had started writing it and realized at some point I really needed some things to happen, and I couldn't, without completely changing the story, there was no way to get there from here that I could possibly think of, and I ended up having to rewrite it all, and it's a very different. You can't just change the pronouns because it doesn't work. I don't know if you saw it. It's over on the forums. I had posted two little pieces. One was just a little paragraph from a vampire thing I did a number of years ago, like a serial in a little magazine, and I tried to rewrite that one thing in third person, and just changing I to she. It was horrible when it was I and it was her thinking, and the way she's thinking, that feeling of little snappy thoughts. It worked when you said she did, she felt, she saw, and you realize that all you were doing was telling people what she felt instead of showing them how she felt. When it's in her head, you get to do that. When it's out, with that third person perspective, it was really bloody awful. I should have put that version up just to show you guys how bad it can really be. So it is a very different way of writing. It's not always easy. Tommy, no, we're just starting. So do you have something that you wanted to share? We're supposed to be writing a short piece in first person and then trying to do the exact same thing, or as close as you can. It will have to change in third person. Did you have that homework to do?
Yes, ma'am. I got the first person done. I couldn't get the third person because I had testing this week and I was strained on time.
And that happens. Life sometimes just messes things up.
But I have my first one if you want to hear it.
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Okay, do I have to share the title of it?
No, we just want a little piece, just a little chunk of something, a paragraph or so that's in one version or the other. And Blood, thank you very much. You guys are, thank you very much.
Okay, this is my story. It starts off with a king, and here you go. I fell to my knees, weak and defeated from our
What happened? Hello?
Me, Ava?
Yeah?
I'm here.
Okay, you just went, I just went blank. I only heard about 2 words and it stopped, so.
It wasn't just me.
No. Okay.
I'll start over.
Okay.
I fell to my knees, weak and defeated from our defining battle. He took one look at me while I was on the ground, grasping for air. He picked me by the collar of my uniform and held me against the wall and said, "I'm going to kill you, I hope you know that, but it's going to be a slow and agonizing death." Using what last of my energy and will I have, I spit blood in his face and say, "You took everything from me. I don't have anything else. You destroyed my kingdom and took the one that I love away from me." He stalled for a second and just looked at me, a depressed young fool. He moved his right hand away from my neck while still holding a firm grip with the other, and he focused his gaze at his hand while he adjusted his gauntlet, and while he was doing so, he said to me, No one's here to save you now, boy. I felt his grip tighten around my neck, and then he turned his head and smiled at me. He started punching me over and over again. After some time, he stopped. I could feel parts of my face bleeding, parts of my abdomen bruised. He let me go, and I fell to the floor coughing and trying to fill my lungs with air. While I was on the ground, he said to me, I'm not going to kill you this way. The way I kill you will be much more painful. And that's a big chunk of it, so.
That's good. And how old are you?
13.
You just want to smack these kids. Just write this out like, it's just, that's actually that's awesome. Like, that's really nice. No one here. The first I'm watching in chat here. This ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the way I address my elders, and you're awesome, so you're ma'am.
Actually, honey, I was raised in the South too, and I call everybody ma'am. We have people that come in at work, there'll be an 18-year-old lady, and I'll say, yes, ma'am, can I help you with something? And people look at me like I'm some kind of weirdo. Manners. Go figure. No, I was just laughing. I do. I call everyone ma'am. Yes, sir. I've got I'll have a 13-year-old kid come in. He's looking for something. I say, yes, sir, can I help you with something today? And they just look at you with big eyes like, you're talking to me? What? Okay. But, yeah, it's manners. It's cool. No, I don't smack kids. It was more like you guys. I was smacking. So, okay, Tommy, do first person point of view.
Oh, that was the first person point of view.
Okay, could I get you to... Can I get you to copy and paste it for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't post it in the Twitch chat.
No, put it here in Raid Call. Put it in
okay.
here in Raid Call for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
One
real quick.
second.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Chip, those manners. I'm thinking, we should get together and do just a few little, internet manners in the 21st century or something like that. Okay, I felt him. He took a look at me while I was on the ground. He picked me. When you're hearing, by the collar, I hope what you're doing, you took everything. He stalled for a second and looked at me, depressed. He moved his hand away from my neck. Yeah, he was too. Okay, I felt his grip tighten. Smile, he's been punching me. Ooh, ow. Yeah, this was painful. Okay, I feel parts of my face bleeding and oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so the other one then, whichever one I didn't say, do the other one for us.
I don't have that one. I didn't have time.
Oh, that's right, the homework thing. Okay, well, this is good. So, have you ever written in third person?
Yes, I have before.
And which do you prefer?
I prefer first person because it's easier, and I like putting myself in their shoes.
Okay.
I hear you.
Yes, we've got a lot of that today. We have a lot of that today. And and it is different. It is. I guess I've kind of gone back and forth. It really seems to depend on that thing called voice, which I have read 1,000 books on and have none of them ever said anything that made any sense. Voice is something that will develop, and it sounds different one way or the other, and we'll all develop a voice as we continue writing. The voice will be there. We will get the sound where people, you start knowing a piece of work almost by, the style of it. You go, oh, that was written by, that must be from this kind of book, or, that's another Sherlock Holmes story, because you don't need the names. You get to read the style, and you start to hear that voice. It's almost like a voice you hear in your head. And they change dramatically with the point of view that you pick. So... was there anybody else? Jazz, yeah, you're third person. I think for the most part I do too. There have been some really big exceptions for me, but I agree. I think mostly I like third person. It's easier. Zen, you're here. Do you have something to read for us? Get into Raid Call if you do there, Sunshine. Hello. Zen Trigger.
Zen.
Everybody. Zen, zen, zen,
Zen,
zen.
zen, zen,
Zen,
zen, zen, zen,
There
zen.
you go. Yeah. And we're doing this late, partly so you can be. Yes, D-Man. Okay, while we're waiting on Zen. Oh, he's writing right now. Okay, so the Game of Thrones, I have not read any of those books. I haven't, I didn't know it was in first person. In first person from who? Who's writing it? Like, who's telling the story then? I haven't actually, I haven't.
Doesn't it switch point of views?
It does. Each chapter is a different character's point of view.
Oh, okay. And that.
Does each chapter's name a character?
Okay.
Yes.
And that's a way to get all the different information you want to get from third person point of view and still use first person point of view. And again, it's sometime like in the early days when, I started thinking about writing, I was told, oh, you just don't do that kind of thing because, and apparently, Game of Thrones has come along and said, yeah, watch this. And it's doing very well. So, Demonac, read for us. Demonac's doing last week's homework. Not that I even remember what that is. What's the point of it?
Last week's homework was the dialogue assignment. Now, I can read it, but it would be kind of like cheating if I read it and do all the voices. I don't know if you'd rather have someone else read it, but it's up to you. It would be fun to read it.
Can I get you to post it so I can read along and then go ahead and read it?
So it's on the forum, but I can post it here if you want.
Yeah, I would have to move a bunch of things. I can't, you know what, guys? When that laptop comes in, it's going to be such a lifesaver to have that sitting here when I have all of these things going on. It'll be awesome.
That will be pretty cool. Okay. So, found us 3
Okay, I'm not...
horses.
I'm
The
not-
armored, barrel-chested blonde man's voice was untainted.
You're cutting out for me a lot, sweetie. I don't know what happened. I didn't get to hear you at all.
And you actually started cutting out for the rest of us, Ava.
Yeah.
What-
I was gonna say you cut out for us.
Same.
Yeah, you did. Well,
Am I still
we'll try again.
live? Let's start with
Yeah.
that.
Let's try again and see if that was just like a momentary blip.
Okay, let's hope so.
You can hear me. You can hear me fine right now, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. So, found us 3 horses. The armored, barrel-chested blonde man's voice was untainted by any shame at his statement of the blindingly obvious as he rode up on a massive Clydesdale. Bent over double, still panting from their recent exertions, Baxter hacked up a little phlegm. Straightening, he wheezed, "You mean stole 3 horses?" Guiding the animal to a gentle stop, Arthur seemed unconcerned by the accusation. "If it makes you feel any better, I left what cash I had in the stable where I found them." "Was it enough to buy 3 horses?" was Baxter's ragged reply, his exasperated tone foreshadowing the expected answer. "Pfft," Arthur snorted. "Not even close." "Then you stole them," Baxter said, that pedantic whine creeping into his gravelly bass voice. But he accepted the reins handed down to him, passing one set to the woman beside him. Jenny, circling around, examining the steeds by touch, neither included in nor interested by the debate, spoke up. "Survival takes priority. We need to get some distance from here before they catch up to us." She slid astride the silvery mare with a grace that bespoke a lifetime of horse wrangling, but then glanced across at the large man, subtly shaken by a wayward thought. "You didn't hurt anyone, did you?" "Nah, of course not. Took the unattended ones," Arthur replied, with a breeziness that might have indicated that he would never do such a thing, had the last few minutes not provided strong evidence to the contrary. "The lady's right," said the final member of the quartet, a brash voice, not without charisma, but with a strained tenor to it now, a forced showmanship. Nevertheless, the other 3 heads turned, drawn towards the rows of protruding blades, his mockery of a face. "She gets a horse because she's the client, so you 2'll have to share." Jenny's lip twitched, not yet able to discern these men's jests from their genuine absurdity. "You can't put another person on Arthur's horse. He's already the size of an ogre." "Plus 100 pounds of gear," Arthur added. It's a big horse, said Daggerface, as though he could simply wave aside the issue. Arthur said, What do you even need a horse, DF? Because I'm the boss, said the metal man. What am I supposed to do, run alongside? Yes, said Arthur flatly, without missing a beat. At this, Baxter seemed to regain his indignant energy. Every time we ride, you complain that you could get out and run faster. You are literally inexhaustible. Having known him for little more than an hour, Jenny already found the lanky man's voice a little grating, but fueled by righteous certitude, it became truly discordant. Faced with this mild mutiny, Daggerface conjured every ounce of authority and defiance he could muster into one skyward finger. I can't walk while everyone else rides. I'm the boss. But as his six-pointed gaze slid from face to face amongst the expressions of his man and of his client, his shoulders slumped forward in an exaggerated, almost juvenile gesture of defeat.
I read this in the forums, by the way, and I love it. And I really hate to say what I'm about to say, but it jumped at me. And this is one of those times when, and we all do this. I mean, I've done some of these so big and so glaring, it was crazy. Clydesdales are never gray.
They're only I didn't describe it very well because I was focusing on the dialogue. There's one Clydesdale, and there were a couple of other smaller horses. He took the big one.
Okay, I thought he had like.
I had another draft that mentioned that, but I had another draft that mentioned the other horses more, but I was trying to trim it down and obviously made some errors.
It's like I'm a horse person, so it's like Clydesdales. They're not gray. Well, no, they're not gray.
I do that kind of thing too.
Yeah. I can, I read it. I loved it. It's fun. It's got a lot of things going on. There's lots of images. You're getting a. it's fun, and there's a sense of what's going on between the people and that the relationships that are there. And oh god, yeah, I loved it. And then but that one silvery thing, it's like, no, I got. Wrong.
Yeah, again, that was not supposed to be the Clydesdale. They were supposed to be 3 different horses.
Okay. Goodness gracious. So, I love it. So Zen's been typing furiously away. Blod, you're right. When the computer gets here, and as hard as this is, of course, I'm going to want to open it immediately. I will not. I will put some posts in a whole bunch of places, and hopefully it would be cool if it got here, just before a live stream is already due to come up, but probably that won't happen. But I'll post it. I'll do a special live stream just to open it. I'll set it here and open the box, and yeah, you guys have to share, right? So absolutely, for sure. Absolutely. I'm treating to let you do the voices. Well, and it is different. It is, emoting something, saying something like a screenplay is very different from just writing a book, and where the writing's got to stand on its own, because we can portray so much with our voices that's, we can kind of zoom over mistakes, which is something I take advantage of at every possible opportunity. But so that was the last time we were talking about dialogue, and the dialogue was great. I mean, it is really good. Like I said, you've got a lot of things going on. You start to understand relationships. You're getting, even from what they say, you're getting a sense of the personality that's there and how people are reacting to the situation that they're in, and it's good. Did I? No, somebody. No, I didn't. I haven't. I didn't know I could, so that wouldn't have come up. Okay. Zen, you got a super rough. We're getting first draft stuff here, so we need to keep that in mind. If it's any good at all, it'll be awesome, because first drafts really suck. And I think what I'm going to try to do, I'll talk about that after. Go, Zen, all yours.
Okay. And yeah, I literally started typing this as I said I was beginning to. So, very, very rough. Thumping. That was something. Well, that was everything. The only thing I had. Confusion clouded my world. Only that steady sound broke the veil. Slowly the blackness parted and bright light joined the steady rhythm. The steady hammering I was surrounded with started to muddle with other noise as other noises flooded in. Alive. I was alive. But what else? The light I could see began to distort and break into shapes and figures. People, curtains, white all around. These things became real. I looked at the faces of these people. Who were they? Where was I? What was happening? A jumble of questions joined the things I already had. Straining with what might I could muster. What? Barely a whisper. The people around me became a whirlwind of motions, screams, tears, and laughter, all assaulting my freshly found awareness. One man, a doctor by the looks of him, began prodding me all over. Brian, it's okay. I'm glad to see you are back with us. A woman shoved her way in, her lined, gaunt face smiling despite the tears flooding down her face. Oh, my dear boy, you're alive. You're here. Oh, dear God, I was so worried. We haven't left your side. Confusion was all I had now. Who are you? Her face fell.
Ow. Oh, my goodness. Did you have a chance to do third person as well?
I literally just did that now.
Okay, that's okay. I mean, it just out of curiosity, I know you've done some writing. Do you prefer first or third, and why?
Depends upon the story.
Okay.
The type of story, really.
Yeah.
Like, first person I enjoy with, for the narrative aspect. I feel you can get the stronger emotions from people. Like, you can really connect and really jar points home.
And okay, and accept and save, and we now have, I've been calling you Jazz. I don't know what the right name is, but Jazz, you're in here. Welcome. Been set as a member. And okay, Lizzie did there we go, and he posted, thank you, that's good. Lizzie had done one of them before and hadn't had a chance to get to the second one, so she's been busy writing away. That's amazing. And she said she's even done, you even did some rewrites on the first one that you read earlier today. Started on the first.
My sister helped me.
Hey, whatever works. We're all here to help each other, so that's awesome. Did you want to reread? Actually, I'm really interested in hearing your version that you read earlier today and then the edited version. I'd love to see that and see what you changed and what you felt was good to change.
Oh, no, because I rewrote it before I didn't save a copy of it.
Did you post it here, though? Do we have a...
Yeah, I posted it here, but Essentia would be able to see it since she's been in here the entire time, but...
Yeah, I can't go back far enough.
I'm sorry, I heard my name. What am I looking for?
Lizzie posted something she read earlier today, way back when in Raid Call. Do you have access to it? I can't scroll back far enough to see that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not scrolling back further than Nine Nine's post.
Alrighty. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I it's just funny that because you just said this, I had been thinking just before Zen started reading that the idea of posting our first draft stuff over on the forums and then posting the changes we make, and then maybe taking just a short piece like this, just a couple of paragraphs, and working through it and seeing why are we changing and why are we polishing and what are we thinking is the weak part, and getting some opinions from the other people who would be reading that, if they agree with us. And it's important to take suggestions people make and then completely ignore them if you really like what you've written. I mean, sometimes the word is spelled wrong. Well, that's editing, and that's whatever. But I think I'd like to see the progression. I was thinking about that earlier today, about starting to do that. we need to talk about a bigger project. We can continue to talk about these little elements of writing, but I'm wondering if we should be using them in a bigger piece. Do we want, everybody want to do a short story? Do we want to spend the next few months working, really polishing up a short story of some kind? We'll set the word limit, and then just, you know, a paragraph at a time, and start really cleaning something and seeing if we can edit it together. If you guys are interested, you have to let me know, because it sounds like fun to me. I would like it. And that's, yes, that's what Wicked Fairy has actually been doing. She's been working on a story and then pulling out pieces of it to fit the homework. Smart girl. Suggestions, zero authority. Any idea you don't like, you can totally ignore. And that's something that's important with writing. Some things we should probably change. If we have 10 people saying, I don't even know what that sentence means, then probably we should find another way to write it. But sometimes it's just style. You know, well, I really hate mysteries, so I think you should change this. Well, yeah, I'm going to pay attention to that. You know, that's different. Jazz, I hope that's okay if I call you that. You are in the raid call with us now. Did you have something that you had wanted to share? I don't know if you've been over to the forums to see the homework today. Did you have something that you'd written that you wanted to share with us today? So I'm not, maybe Jazz doesn't, maybe he's just, he, she, I don't know, by that name I can't really tell. Maybe you don't have a microphone. If you had something that you wanted to share, you could post it here in the raid call chat and I could read it, if you wanted to do that. And maybe not. Okay, that's good. So was there anybody else that had something that they wanted to share with the first person, third person? Opinions? Oh, he can't find the mic. Okay, I'm getting an ARG. we can wait for a second. That's all. That's good. Let's see. I could be throwing a bone out there, but wouldn't there be chat logs in the raid call server? I have no idea. Honestly, there are. You're right. I have chat logs somewhere. You're right. I just found that the other day. I didn't know that either. But apparently everything you guys write in chat is logged for me. So much for privacy. There is none. Yeah, okay. You can do that too. Just paste it here. Yeah. And Jazz, was it like a first person, third person thing? Were you able to like actually do the homework, or is this something else from the week before, something like that? Third person. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, my time sort of disappeared. Essentia, save the day. Yeah, and Essentia's another one of those people who can write so much better than she gives herself credit for, and she is the most incredible freaking editor in the world. We call her our grammar Nazi, but she's good. Nothing gets past this girl. I mean, nothing gets past this girl. Words that are used that much, you know, just off the correct meaning that nobody's ever going to notice except Essentia. Every comma, period. Oh my God, editor like nobody's business. When we all decide to work on our short stories, we're going to have to pay her to actually be our editor for us, because she's tough. She's tough.
You mean you're gonna have to pay me for the medication I'm gonna have to go on if I'm gonna have to edit that many people's work?
If you're making enough money, it might be fun.
I get emotionally invested. I get stressed easily.
Demonac Jazz go, oh, arg, I'm trying to find my mic, and Demonac is posting, arg, Jazz shouted, but his rage could find no mark as the microphone had gone missing.
Oh my God.
I missed that. That's funny.
Ah, goodness gracious.
Well, Ava, it's just like a totally random section that I pulled out and quickly changed a bunch of names to, because the story has to do with the setting, that you know what story I'm probably talking about, don't you?
Maybe. I'll know within a sentence or two, I expect.
It was like the last thing I wrote, and it was like 3 years ago, so you probably know.
Okay, then give it, is it first person, third person?
It's third.
Okay, then let's hear it.
It's technically slightly over the 300 word mark, so I apologize, but I hadn't planned on actually doing this, so. Am I sounding okay enough to actually read this to you, or should I just copy it?
Sound like you have a sore throat a little bit, but if you don't mind, go right ahead.
Okay, now I just got really scared. Okay.
No.
The Archbishop and the priests of the Helmwatch Cathedral welcomed Anya warmly as she approached the central pedestal with quiet reverence. It had been several months since her last visit home, but they had never seemed to forget the brave, gentle, solitary girl who had been coming to the church to say a silent prayer and light her candles since the tender age of 16. She smiled openly, inclining her head gratefully toward the city's spiritual leaders. Light be with you, sisters, brothers. Wonderful evening in the city. Saluna looks to be large and bright tonight. I hope you're all able to break from your duties for a moment to enjoy it. She inhaled and steadied herself. Is the prayer room free tonight? Yes, child. Archbishop Benefict confirmed. The room is all yours at the moment. May the light bless and keep you and all your loved ones. Anya. Okay, give me 1 sec. I have to scroll in hands.
So many memories. Oh my goodness. I love this. Ah.
Thank you, Archbishop, Anya said softly as she bowed her head and stepped quietly off to the small enclosed space filled with slender white candles. The candles varied in height, a few already aflame in honor of loved ones who had passed on. Anya kneeled carefully on the cushioned stool in front of a small altar. Keeping her head bowed, she remained unmoving for some moments, reflecting on the few, precious, but all too vague, memories of her mother, the days spent playing with her little brother, and that eventful day Prince Eric of Lerden arrived in town warning of a terrible plague. She inhaled sharply, gasping as she often did when recalling the sights and sounds of that day. She lifted her head, wiped the single escaped tear, and reached for the altar lighter. For Kyrie, for Baton, for Daleholm. Whatever great journey you have taken, may the holy light be with you always. She smiled sadly, touching her lips to her fingers to her lip, and stood. Long live the kingdom of Lerden, long live the kingdom of Helmwatch.
See, and this is a girl who has never, practiced writing at all. Would occasionally be forced into sitting down to write something for various reasons. And, first draft, it's awesome. You get history, you've got her feelings, you've got her interactions, you get these pictures in your head of where she is, and it just a little, and nothing big and exciting and dramatic, just somebody walking into this place and nice and quiet, and had so many things going on. I love it. You're gonna have to keep this up. Get your homework done, Essentia. I like it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
damn.
was awesome, Essentia.
Oh, we has a quill. Bravo! Woohoo! See, he likes it too.
Will.
Oh, damn, he was listening in? I'm gonna have to stop him in a minute.
Oh, goodness, that's great. So, Jazz, did you find a microphone? Did you have something you want to read now? Oh, okay, we just got a bunch of texts, so maybe, did you want me to read this for you then? Would, of course he can, yeah, that would be nice. Okay, but I say, and I'm waiting for him to say yes, because it makes sense. I'm just that good, guys. Okay, let's do this. All right. So who shall die today? Maybe Acedia? If I'm butchering your names, I apologize. Nah, how about Chandler? Nah, who I know. Blair, yes. Blair, a name I can't, I know I'm going to say wrong. So, give me another, Bellini. Oh, sorry, we're just do. Hi, I has help. What are you writing, Bella? Okay, let's start over. Who shall die today? Maybe Acedia? Nah, how about Chandler? Nah, I know. Blair, yeah. Okay, guys, quit posting because it pops it gone every time. So let me finish reading. Give me another, Bellini, and deal me in. I'm feeling lucky tonight, baby, yelled Blair from the poker table. The waitress, in her ever-so-clumsy fashion, tripped over an empty glass of bourbon. In the devastating impact, she broke her rib cage and died. I just don't understand why people have to do that. Oh, my God, this is awesome. Poor Acedia, and Blair was just getting to know her. It was such an ever so tragic event. The robust manager came over to the poker game where Blair was playing. He demanded for them to exit the premises. Blair was not satisfied. Hey, I was just about to win at Chinese Phantom. Come on, I thought this was a dignified establishment, complained the affluent Blair. I'm sorry, sir, but someone just died, declared the manager with a London accent. Ah, so what? It happens all the time. What doesn't is me getting lucky at poker. I love it. Sir, it was Acedia, the very waitress who worked your poker game. Who, the wench? The one who couldn't get me a proper Bellini? It calls for a peach puree and not this cheap substitute. That's it, sir. Out, now. And to think this is a top-notch professional 7-star resort, I won't renew my membership. I won't stay at any of your crummy hotels. For our sake, I hope so, yelled the manager as he slammed the door on Blair's disgusting, putrid, revolting face, contorting in a facade of disbelief. Oh my God, so I probably shouldn't laugh. She tripped on a glass and died. I don't know if it's supposed to be funny or not, but I love it. It struck me that way because it's big. It was really unexpected. Okay, we were certainly getting an idea of who this it's from the devil's perspective. Oh my God. Okay, that changes everything. Now it's even funnier. I love it. Oh my goodness. So who shall die today? So they just like let's pick some names. Okay, let's that one die, and then she trips and dies. Oh my God. Okay, this could actually be fun. This could actually be fun. Okay, in terms of point of views, so who shall die today? I know, give me another, the waitress. Yeah, so this, this one, the first parts when you're saying, give me another Bellini, deal me in, yelled Blair. So that's definitely, that's third person. He's not saying I yelled. The waitress in her fashion, so this is all third person. And hey, I was just about to win. Well, that doesn't, just because somebody's talking doesn't change it from being first or third person. And then the whole conversation, of course, would be, each person talking. So, dash between, but the copy paste broke it to separate the points of view. I'm not sure that it really does. Does it really change point of view? I mean, them talking, of course, they're talking, I said, whatever. But the whole point of view felt like a third person. Declared the manager, who's the wrench? That's it. That's the... No, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like you changed that to me. It just feels like a third person. There was a lot of conversation in it. It's your opinion whether the devil is first or third. Well, when he's talking, it's certainly from his point of view, but the overall tone, I think, it's a third person. It's just that there's times when he's talking, or at the first, like, who shall die today? We're in his head, but you can still do that in third person. You get into people's heads like that. That's fine. No, it seems okay. That's all right. I don't know. It's pretty good. Can I do a point of view from Cameo? Let's see what time we have here. I've got a lot of stuff to do tonight. We've done this twice. Is there any? So Jazz, welcome to Raid Call. I hope you're happy here. We do have some rules about the different rooms and stuff. It's posted over on the forums at akissforluck.net. If you haven't joined that yet, certainly go over there and have a look. We're really big on manners here about not interrupting, talking over other people. Without a mic, of course, you'll never have that problem. Okay, nice. But the different rooms are used for different things. Chat rooms are used for, if you're playing games with other people, you will get to know people in here. It is a very nice community, and if you're playing games online, you guys are certainly welcome to use this group. Go off into one of the chat rooms to do that, and then leave the chat room, at the end of the thing, so that it's open for other people. Don't just, hang them out. Heading for Toronto. Oh my goodness, we got a Canadian. Hello, it's awful nice. But they're very nice people in here, and as we're getting more, we're having to shuffle the manners and rules a little bit to make sure it's a comfortable place for everybody. But for the most part, it's been really nice. It's been really good. It's nice people here. I think you'll be happy here. It's good. So those of you in the lounge, Pedro, Toxic Waste, you, Katie, if you had anything, that you wanted to actually read,
Yeah.
And Lizzie, did you want to? Oh, that's right. We're going to read your stuff. Zen's got third person. Okay.
Me too.
Yeah. So Lizzie, ladies first.
What should I post first? The first person?
The one. You know what? Go ahead. Yeah, read us the first person or post it, and I'll read it. Did you want to read it now? You're feeling more comfortable?
No.
No.
I stumble over reading it out loud.
Okay.
That's usually.
And then go ahead. Do the first person again. We'll read your I'll read your edited copy, and then we'll do the third. Oh, and hey, Yorkie's got something now.
Oh, that's too big.
No. It's going to be easier to read. Thank you. Okay. And for you who haven't heard this before, you're going to like this. I always thought that after death, my existence would be over and that everything would go black. There would be no thoughts, no pain, and no pressure. These were my expectations right before my captors shot me in the head. So you can imagine my surprise when I woke up gasping for air. I couldn't feel the expected pain in my head, but I did feel as if my heart was racing. I didn't know if I was dead or alive. I had felt the sharp pain of the shot in the middle of my forehead for a fraction of a second before succumbing to the murky waters of darkness. When I came to, I felt as if the shot never happened. I was still in the same room, and even the same mattress was in the same corner. I had never believed in ghosts, but I immediately looked around the room for my body. I saw nothing. Not even a trace of blood. I was beyond confused. That shot would have definitely killed me, but yet I was here. Was I really shot or tricked into thinking I was? Did death itself just reject me from its peaceful embrace, or did I simply faint? Whatever the case may be, I was left alone in this stone-cold prison. I can hear nothing but my own thoughts. Was this the reality of death? The funny thing is that I wasn't truly worried about where or what I am, but how I got into this mess in the first place. Was I kidnapped? And what information did they want from me? The first step in my missions was to escape the small freezing cell, and then I could worry about the rest. So that's the first person.
Yeah, the
Bravo.
original writing of it was more ambiguous, and then my sister helped me fix it.
It's really good and captivating. My only criticism, if you're accepting criticism,
Oh,
would
go
be
ahead.
you use I almost in every sentence.
Yeah, I know.
There's a way to rework it, so maybe you can cut out a few of those so it's not less repetitive. Still gives you the first person without, overusing it.
Yeah, I suppose you could do just something. Okay, let's see. I didn't know if I was dead or alive. I had felt the sharp pain of the shot in the middle of my forehead for a fraction of a second before succumbing to the murky waters of darkness. When I came to, I felt as if the shot had never happened. I was still in the same
Yeah,
room.
there's a lot of eyes.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there must be some way to cut them out. But reading it didn't feel. But yeah, sometimes it just. Did death just reject me? Or did I simply faint? Whatever the case may be, I was left alone. I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty good. So, do the next one. And there it is. Awesome. So this is going to be third person, the same story. So let's see how this one feels different. She woke, gasping for air, her eyes darting across the ceiling in shock. This was not possible. She shouldn't even be breathing. It felt like just an instant ago she was being shot in the head by her captors. She had felt the sharp pain of the shot in the middle of her forehead before succumbing to the murky waters of darkness. So why is it when she came to, it felt like the shot had never happened, and her heart was racing? All of her expectations of death, the nothingness and darkness, weren't there. The only thing she didn't feel was the pain and aches of being tortured by her captors before death. She looked around the room, a realization that this was the room she was tortured in, and everything was the same. Even the mattress was in the exact corner as before. Though she was skeptic of the supernatural, she checked the floor for her body, or even blood, but found nothing. She was beyond confused. That shot would definitely killed her. But yet, here she was. Was she really shot or just tricked into... Where am I? I'm sorry. Was she really shot or tricked into thinking she was? Did death itself just reject her from its peaceful embrace, or did she simply faint? Whatever the case may be, she was left alone in the stone-cold prison she was brought to, hearing nothing but her own thoughts. The funny thing is that she wasn't truly worried about where or what she was. But how did she get into this mess in the first place? Why was she kidnapped, and what information did they want from her? She planned to find out, and then she could worry about the rest later. Okay, that's actually a really good job of having changed that into third person. That's, yeah, nicely done.
Thank you.
So comments, guys. Which one did you like best? First or third? Who's in the room here with us? We have, let me scroll up and find that. Jazz, you'll have to post it. Did you like the first or third person better? Third person for him, third for the next one. Zen, what do you think? First or third?
I like the first better, actually. The questions were stronger when they were coming from her. It really gave you the sense of how confused she was.
Demonac, Lizzie is the same. You like the first as well? So we have 2 votes for third, 2 votes for first. Isn't that helpful? And I'm with Demonac. I like different parts of each. Thomas liked the first better. Yeah, it's you know, and see, there's something, maybe what we're reading here, is there a way to take some of the maybe the description or the gasping for air, or, you know, something, and move that into first person? Is there a way to get a little, like the one is really sharp, you're in her head, and I love it. I love the first person, because it's really, it gets you like, oh my god, what if that were me? Oh my god. The third person gives you a little bit more sense of, you know, how her body's reacting to things. And maybe the perfect world would be to find some way to take bits and stick it into it. I think I liked the first person better if I had to pick one, but there were definitely parts I liked both. Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, what Demonac just said, there were parts where I actually liked the third person better. I thought it was a little bit better, but that punch wasn't quite as strong as in the first. So I don't know.
The line of the third, though, was, I think that's really a good hook. Like, that was stronger than the first person.
She woke gasping for air, her eyes darting across the ceiling in shock. Yeah, I liked that too. And that went, oh, I'm liking this one. I'm liking this one.
Yeah, my sister helped me with the first person one, and then I did the third person one without her coming to revise it, so...
And I'll be honest, even in the revised thing, and I don't have the other one in front of me, follow your instincts, Lizzie, because... And I'd have to see them both. And what I'm about to say, if I saw them both, I might read them over and go, oh no, I'm wrong in what I'm about to say. But my gut reaction is I think I liked the first version better. Yeah, believe it or not. I think I liked the first version better. It felt... And memory messes things up. But if somebody helped you with the second one, with the second version of the first person, oh my God, isn't this getting all the numbers? And now we have Bella to help. I know, follow your instincts. It was good. It's pretty good.
I plan on making my sister come and join us for next week.
You're gonna make her Bella, you're biting me. That's cool. And we're gonna make Essentia keep writing. It's gonna be all awesome. And Bella, you know, Bella wants to do stuff. Mwah. I love you, Bella. And I'm getting a kiss for luck. Oh, I'm getting many kisses for luck. There you go. What type of literature I like the most, Tommy? I don't know. A well-written book. I don't know. I love mysteries. They're very fun. But I like a lot of things. I love fantasy. Oh, I really love fantasy. So I don't know. I like all kinds of things. I love history. I read a lot of history, like actual real history. I don't know. The good kind. Yeah, I like the good kind of literature. I like all kinds of stuff. So guys, what do you want to talk about next week? What are we looking for? What kind of things? Let me think. We've talked about dialogue. We've talked about first person. We've talked a little bit about creating, our characters, getting to know them. Setting. Yeah, setting. That's actually, okay. Next week we talk about setting. So what could we do for homework? All right, we need, maybe this is just a strong, introductions. Yeah, okay, we have settings or introductions. Those are both really, really good. The setting is where the story happens. Setting is where the story is actually going to happen. And settings can be almost like a character in their own right. Middle Earth. I mean, would that story be the same if it weren't in Middle Earth? That story's been told 1,000 times. It's not a new story. There's nothing special about it, but it's in an amazing place. And I think that somebody was talking about how I'm not really a big fan of Game of Thrones. And my problem with Game of Thrones is I can't find any redeeming qualities about the society as a whole, and it just irritates me. It feels like it's too much. So, anyway, make a helpful video about adding depth to a setting. Bing, I'm done. Okay, for DMAC wants the homework to, okay, DMAC, post your video, and I'll make sure I snag it, and actually post it here in Raycall so I can get a hold of it too, and I'll make, or put it in the forums. Put it here and put it over in the forums, please. Because Demonac has done a video about how to add depth to your setting. So, he's got his part of the homework done already. Monomyth, yeah. The story's like Lord of the Rings. I mean, the setting can be huge. In one story I've written in the past, the setting was really important, because if I hadn't had the setting exactly the way I was, I wouldn't have had a way to end my book. I mean, what I set up in the very first 2 or 3 pages was absolutely necessary throughout the whole book. The setting was really important. A setting, if it's in a haunted house on a hill, well, that same story is very, very different if it's in some house in the suburbs. Setting's really important. So we could talk about that. Opening lines, opening hooks. Let's see. How can we do this? Those opening lines are so good. Okay, guys, let's work on opening lines, and I'll think about how to. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to actually make us do homework based on setting. If you have some ideas, please, guys. Zen, if you were the one whoever said that. Who said settings? Oh, Jazz, you said settings. If you have an idea about how I could do that sort of thing for homework, yeah, let me do some research and I'll come up with homework and post it. For next week, let's talk about those opening lines and opening paragraphs, because they are huge. You can have the most beautiful cover in the world, and you can have tons and tons of marketing behind you, but ultimately somebody's got to. It was a dark and stormy night. Yes. That's. The rain fell in torrents, except at occasional intervals when it was checked by a violent gust of wind, which swept up the streets. For it is there, London there. I love this. Oh, God, I love this. I love this. That's awesome. Oh, my God. In opening lines, we've talked about this before, you want a good opening line, just find something by Stephen King. I don't really care for his books overall, but my God, that opening paragraph is going to snap you right in the face. He's really, really good. So write 3 opening sentences or little opening segments. Let's put it that way. They might be 1 or 2 or 3 sentences. No more than that. Do 3 of them. Okay? Let's do 3 of them. And remember, if somebody's picking up your book, that may be your only chance to sell it. It's got to be amazing. And I want to tell you something, and this one you need to keep in mind. Oh, John Green. Oh my God, I don't have that book up here right now. The sentence. Oh God, what's the name of the one? Where the boy's moving away from home. That first paragraph. Oh my God, it's so good. Somebody bring me the book. Where's Briarstone? Go get the book. Bring it to me. It's so good. Goodness. No, Tommy, we'll talk about setting next week. I can't remember the name of it. I know the boy's getting ready to move away from home. Oh my God, I love it. He's just, I can't remember, he's going off to school.
Which one?
Is that Chasing Alaska?
So, Ava, do you mean Paper Towns Looking for Alaska? Which one?
I think it's Chasing Alaska. Briarstone fetch me the green toe. It's a fabulous first paragraph. It makes me so happy. Oh my God, it's really good. And I'm telling you guys, I still haven't found the book. It's lost in the attic somewhere, from a lady called Caroline Graham, and the book is called Faithful Unto Death. The first paragraph makes me so happy. It's just, I read it over and over again. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's so brilliant. Now, that sentence, yes, one of the best short scary story. Yeah, it's fabulous. One thing I want to tell you about your first stories is that they may be the only chance you have to get someone to read your book. Oh, Thunder and Lightning. Thank you, wherever that came from. Copy of your first Blood. Where are we going here? Scroll up. It is the second one from Blood. And it will be signed. Absolutely. Thank you, sweetie. That's very kind. Okay, well, I keep getting lost here. I love some of these first sentences. They make me very excited. But the tone you set there, you got to realize something. You are setting people up for the... Oh, thank you.
Have the last one.
Okay. You are setting people up for the rest of your story. If you're writing a thriller, don't start your first hook being, they were having tea and it was quiet and gentle and beautiful. And I don't care how fabulous that first sentence is. That first 2 or 3 words have got to give an indication of what's coming, because you're setting people up for the pace, the feeling, the tension, everything that's going to be in that book. If it's going to be a cozy English mystery, one of the cozy ones that are very soft and, different things, it's that you can do that there. You don't start out with the car exploded in a flash of flame and the woman jumped at the last minute and fell down the hill and got off and went, oh my God, I survived. Who did that to me? That's not a cozy English mystery. Okay, you have to start as you intend to finish, and keep that in mind too. Don't write the hook. Oh, awesome. Thank you guys. Wicked Fairy, you're a brat. And I love you for it. Okay, let's see if I can find if this one I want to read. We'll end with this. That's the fort. I see, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay.
Ava, if there's any kind of paper or something bookmarking a page and looking for Alaska, please don't remove it.
No, I won't.
The book.
I saw that. I won't. Okay, I want you to listen to this and how much information you're getting in this. This is loaded. This is just loaded. Okay. The week before I left my family in Florida and the rest of my minor life to go to boarding school in Alabama, my mother insisted on throwing me a going-away party. To say that I had low expectations would be to underestimate the matter dramatically. Although I was more or less forced to invite all my school friends, i.e. the ragtag bunch of drama people and English geeks I sat with by social necessity in the cavernous cafeteria of my public school, I knew they wouldn't come. Still, my mother persevered, awash in the delusion that I had kept my popularity secret from her all these years. Thank you. She cooked a small mountain of artichoke dip. She festooned our living room in green and yellow streamers, the colors of my new school. She bought 24 champagne poppers and placed them around the edge of our coffee table. That's just the first paragraph. We know so much about this man and his life and his family and growing up and what he's been dealing with. Oh, my every word, every single solitary freaking word counts. There's nothing here. Everything's been like just cut back to the bone. Everything is there's nothing here that's unnecessary. There's no words that are just fillers. And I love this man so much. John Green is just amazing. He's absolutely, absolutely amazing. So there we are. That's all we have to look up for. That's all we have to work on is being John Green. But that's all. So much information. And that's, you know, we'll get into editing and you guys. Oh, God. Thank you very much. I'm coming to love that thunder. Oh, my goodness. So that's it. We're done. Next week, homework. 3 opening segments. Keep them small. Keep them just 2 or 3 sentences at the top, top. Get that hook in there and set them up to be like the story would continue. Okay? But Ava, it's not easy being green. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. No kidding. Neuralosa just keeps giving money in little bits and pieces all over the place. It adds up. It adds, and the thunder and lightning again. Timber Fawn. Oh my goodness, lady.
Damn you, Timber. You broke my ribbon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And of course, we still have Gray Lady up there who freaks me out every time I see that title. You got to come and join us somewhere else, sweetie. You've been kind of amazing, and I don't even know who you are, and I thank you so much. You're one of those people that make the universe a nicer place to be just because you wander by and do something awesome. So I'm going now. 3 sentences, 3 hooks, 3 starting opening things for 3 different kinds of stories, and that's the thing I want you guys to try. 3 different kinds of stories. And people are saying, I wish I could donate. Don't worry about it. Share the streams. Tell your friends. You know what? You want to support me? Go over to Facebook, and if you don't even have time to watch the video, just turn it on and hit the like button. There you go. That's all. What is you guys doing? Is this becoming like dueling donations? Look at this. Oh my God. That's funny. Oh goodness. What is this person? Little secret club? We don't have a secret club. It's on the internet, darling. It's not much of a secret. Oh my goodness. That's just kind of funny. It is a dark and stormy night. We've got donation wars. Woo! So guys, that's it. I'm going now. It is 20 after 7. I want food. It's been a long day. And thank you guys for all the little thunderstorms. I always like the sound of thunder, so I'm starting to really like this thing. This is good. So thank you very much. Yeah, the donations, servers. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot goes into this, and there's some more software I'm going to have to be getting here soon, and you pay licensing on stuff. And so I appreciate it. It's really good. Thank you. Yeah, I don't jump somewhere. I know what the sound is now. I didn't even know what the sound was at first, so it was a little creepy. So I'm heading out, guys. Mwah. Love you very much. Remember, we are back. What is today? Wednesday? We're back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be here tomorrow evening doing some darn thing. Yeah, I know, Quill. I can smell them. I'm sitting here starving. I can smell the food smelling good. So... bye-bye. Read some opening sentences. Make them awesome. And I'll see you soon. See you tomorrow evening, actually, right here. Same place, same station. I finally get to say that. Same time, same station. Bye-bye. Bella.